Hello, good day. My name is Ifeoluwa, a student of Ifeoluwa University. I'm here to present my project, which is the evaluation of key issues impacting on consumer behavior and satisfaction of online streaming platform. A case study today will be Netflix. Here, my declaration to state that I do accept and admit that this assignment was done by me. I have avoided plagiarism and I do understand the repercussions that are involved should I plagiarize or buy my assignments. Here we're looking at background to my project. Online streaming platforms have revolutionized how entertainment content is consumed, reshaping the media and entertainment industry. Gone are the days whereby you used to have CDs and discs all around, but now the entertainment industry has reshaped, and then we have entertainment at the right point, fingerprint. Amongst the various streaming platforms, Netflix has stand as a global frontier, captivating millions of subscribers worldwide and its diverse catalog of movie, TV shows, and original production. As the streaming industry continues to develop rapid understanding, the key factors that influence consumer behavior and satisfaction on these platforms are becoming imperative for providers like Netflix to retain and attract loyal customers. Therefore, my project is aimed to evaluate the key issues impacting on consumer behavior and satisfaction on online streaming platform with specifics to Netflix. Here I'm just discussing as well just a little background studies to my project. Netflix is an online streaming platform that's generally acceptable by millions worldwide, and we'll be considering factors that affect the satisfaction of the customers. The overall research question here is: what are the key issues impacting consumer behaviors and satisfaction on Netflix? We're going to be streamlining our questions down to identify the factors influencing customer behavior and satisfaction with Netflix, to examine the relationship between customer behavior and consumer satisfaction on Netflix, also to explore the key impact issues such as content quality, user interface, pricing, and customer service on customer satisfaction, to provide a recommendation for Netflix to provide customer satisfaction and enhance overall consumer experience. Here, we're just going to be focusing on keywords such as content quality, the user interface, pricing, and customer service on consumer satisfaction. Here we move on to our methodological choices. Earlier in my coursework, I had suggested and said which of the methodological choices I'll be using. But here, I'm just here to explain what I could have done and what I did do. So I could have done the primary research, going back into digging deep into the research topic to find out more research topic. But because I had literatures, I haven't looked at previous things I have existing data, I decided to do secondary research because it saves time and saves cost. I could have administered questionnaires, focus groups, interviews, but asking open-ended questions to Netflix subscribers, but I carefully examined the existing literature as my resource of data. Use a purposeful sampling method to recruit respondents. I developed an inclusion and exclusion criteria to select previous studies to include. Carried out a thematic analysis of qualitative data. I carried out a thematic analysis of selected studies to identify my recurrent themes. I just decided to filter instead of go deep and generate new data. Here I decided to use the Saunders onion theory, which involves the research approach, the research strategy, my choices, and time and constraint. Here I was able to deduce and induce. Firstly, I carried out a literature review to understand the existing knowledge of the relationship between consumer behavior and satisfaction within the context of online streaming platform with specific focus on Netflix. Then I stated my research questions. I used the Saunders onion theory, like I said earlier on, and then I used academic database just like Justos and Google Scholars to input keywords in order to identify pattern studies and reports. Once I completed the section of potential studies, I used the specific criteria to choose the most relevant one for my research. I extracted relevant information in my studies, and then I coded the data from the selected study focus on recurring terms, and the thematic analysis was utilized to identify overreaching terms. In the end, I compared and constructed my findings, and I was able to deduce which was needed from my project. Here is my validation of data. Here I'll be focusing on what are the limitations, the outcome, and focus of my studies. So the validation of set data. 1. Factors that influence attitudes to use and implication to cognizance intention to use SVOD. Netflix as a case study here. The source was Sasato and Sasato. The key findings here were the figure 2 emphasizes on the importance of factors like price system quality, and enjoyment in shaping users' attitude and satisfaction on Netflix, providing actionable insights for strategic improvements. The focus study here was on Indonesian subscribers. However, because it might not be generally acceptable, because it might not be accepted across amongst the behaviors and satisfaction can be significantly different across regions and culture. The data is however reliable because the researcher used a rigorous statistical methods such as confirmatory factor analysis and structural equation model to draw a reliable conclusion. Here, we're looking at the validation of dataset 2. Question here is, does satisfaction after watching the trailer affect subscribers? An empirical study here also was Netflix. The source also was Kashin and Ajit 2022. The key finding here, figure 3, suggests that positive perception of service quality and brand image contributes to customer satisfaction and increases the likelihood of customers to subscribe and recommend Netflix. The study solely focused on self-report survey, which may be subjected to the study to recall bias. This is the respondents may not accurately recall and report their experiences. The data is however reliable once again because it follows a structured approach in presenting the methodology, including the theoretical framework, design, data collection, and methods. Here we identify the highlights. Highlight says it causes the result between Netflix service quality and Netflix brand image to be significant. Here we're just trying to talk about if the trailers, if they actually do prompt the subscribers to want to watch and then to want to know more about Netflix. Validation of dataset 3. Here we'll be looking at the effect of users' experience on customer satisfaction, streamlining services. Once again, Indonesia. Martin and Radiato 2020. Key finding here in figure 4 implies that such as attractiveness, peculiarity, efficiency, dependability, simulation, and novelty area is significant positive impact on customers' satisfaction with Netflix. While the study focuses on user satisfaction, it might not capture the full spectrum of factors influencing media streaming. The data is reliable and valid because it is conducted through a validity and reliable test using the indicators such as the loading factor, AV, average variancy, and the composite reliability factor. Validation of dataset 4. This here is to analyze the factors affecting customer loyalty and satisfaction of Netflix users in Bath City. Key findings here are to highlight the importance on the use of brand image, service quality, and website quality in shaping the users of experience and behavior. Here we're just trying to look at it, that how frequent can people, how willing will people be able to accept a brand product once they can use it, once it's user friendly, and once the brand image is protected. Though the study briefly mentions the domains of millennials, which is the Gen Z, but not extensively explore the influence on demographic factors on users' preference and satisfaction. The data is however reliable because the study demonstrates both content and validity through well-grounded theoretical framework and the use of established constructs, the testing of hypotheses, and the alignment of findings with theoretical expectation further to support the validity of the study. Dataset 5. Here is the streaming service customer behavior. Here also Netflix was the studies, and then two countries were involved, Brazil and Portugal. The key finding in six shows us that the reviews home via broadband smart TV speaking during weekends and nights. The study acknowledges that the synthesized size may not be highly representative of the entire population of both countries. A broader and more diverse sample could have enhanced the generality of the finding. However, the data is reliable and valid because the study is grounded in a theoretical framework that evaluates models of consumptions, behaviors, purchases, decision making, e-commerce, reputable authors' behaviors. Validation of dataset 6, digital industry competition of video on demand, technology perspective, and consumer behavior. The key finding here reveals the attitudes do not meditate the impacts of perceived ease of use on purchase decision, but partially mediate the impact of perceived usefulness. Here we're just trying to look at how Netflix is easily accessible and easily usable by individuals in general. The study acknowledged the limitation not having included an analysis of how different age groups or generations might exhibit varying behavior or preferences when it comes to using the video on demand. The data is, however, reliable because of the accuracy and the soundness of the studies. The use of established methods, statistical measures, and adherence to recognized standards contributes to credibility of this data. Validation of data 7. The impact of Netflix on viewers' behavior and the exploration of effect on streaming services. Here, the key findings is Netflix has significantly influenced user behavior, with binge watch being a prevalent practice. Users appreciate the platform recommendation, content variety, and user-friendly interface. The study relies on self-reported data through questionnaires. Participants may not provide biased, inaccurate information, and the data is once reliable because the study exhibits a clear conceptual framework with hypotheses grounded in the existing literature. And then the data validation of dataset 8, subscription and consumer loyalty. A quick study Netflix before and after COVID pandemic. Here we're just trying to generalize how people accepted and how consumers' loyalty was influenced by COVID before and after. We can also say this data is reliable because it integrates the findings from previous research, citing sources to support statements and hypotheses, referencing established research contribution to the validity of data by connecting to a broader knowledge. Now we'll be looking at data analysis. The data analysis relies to use the thematic framework analysis, coding and streamlining our research from existing literature. Here, the first research question is to identify the factors influencing customer behaviors and satisfaction on Netflix. The theme variable is that the ease of use and convenience, price, prevailing, perceived enjoyments, brand image, website quality, attractiveness, peculiarity, dependability, and novelty are the words that we decided to put as we try to use as search engines, and then the sources from Lisari and Sasato and others. The quotation was that they perceive system quality, perceived ease of use, perceived price levels, and perceived enjoyment has a positive effect on attitude to use Netflix. We have other authors that also agree to this. A few other authors also said the significant results on the relationship between quality and consumer behavior intention in this study, and also that our finding indicates that the convenience perception has a positive relationship in affecting consumer loyalty. The link and relevance is that the quotation highlights the factors that influence consumer behaviors and satisfaction on Netflix. Objective 2, the thematic analysis, is to examine the relationship between consumer behavior and satisfaction on Netflix. The terms and variable perceived enjoyment, audience feeling, and binge watching. Lisari and Sasato, Kashan and Ajay said if we're able to perceive a few things. Perceived enjoyments positively affect the level of satisfaction and continuous intention. If the storyline and trailer it does not arouse the feelings of the individual, they automatically do not feel like they need it. This shows that if the consumer satisfaction increase loyalty. This shows that if consumer satisfaction increases, the customer's loyalty also increase. And then the relevance and links is that the first quotation from the dissertant supports the idea as perceived that has a positive impact on satisfaction. The second one emphasizes on the feelings of audience in satisfaction, while the third one indicates the link between customer satisfaction and loyalty, providing a broader insight. The third thematic analysis to explore the impact of key issues such as content quality, user interface, pricing, and customer service on consumer satisfaction. The terms and variables, the impact of content quality, user interface, pricing, and service on the consumer satisfaction. Here we're just going to look at we just like what we said earlier on receptor and so one of the factors that influence attitude to use the perceived price levels. When the price level is high, the demand or the user will tend to have a low attitude towards this. The significant result on this relationship between quality service and behavior intention in these studies, customer satisfaction was significantly influenced by the ease of use. And then we look at the links and the relevance. The quotation highlights the key impacts the key issues such as content quality, user interface, pricing, and customer service. Our objective 4 is to provide recommendation for Netflix. Here we look at the terms and variables, which is optimized pricing strategy, sustainable positivity, image amongst user generation, content restriction options, continuous consumer engagement. Here we can just go down to look at the authors and see a few things of what they perceived as it relates to this topic. Netflix needs to maintain a positive image amongst young people and to attract more market of young consumers in the next future. Is to provide the quotation. Here we're looking at relevance and quotation objective. Provide the quotation at relevance to objective by suggesting strategies such as optimizing pricing options for younger generation and implementing content restrictions. Now we could see all from our thematic analysis that our questions were answered. The first question was to identify the factors influencing consumer behavior with satisfaction in Netflix. We can see that the research indicates that price perceived system quality, ease of use, and convenience, and perceived enjoyment, positive influence customer towards the product as supported by Lisato. Furthermore, they highlight the Kesere and Skosanda 2020 highlight the significant impact of ease of use, brand image. Second question is to examine the relationship between consumer behavior and net satisfaction. We can say that it emphasizes on the roles of audience feelings, stating that if the role storyline of trainers fails to arouse the audience tends to be dissatisfied. To explore the impact of key issues such as content quality, user interface, and customer satisfaction on consumer satisfaction. Here we can also see from the Sarah Sazato that it reveals that perceived high prices makes individuals not want to purchase the product. Fourth question here is to provide a recommendation for Netflix. We can also always say that Netflix needs to implement more viewers restriction and tailor their streamline to suit the consumers' wants, and also to reduce prices so that in order to attract more customers and be competitive. A conclusion: gathering insights into the crucial elements that impacts consumer behavior and satisfaction, such as platforms, key factors such as a perceived system quality, ease of use. Furthermore, the role of use and enhanced customers related to interface is emphasized. Overall, high quality customer satisfaction and loyalty are contributing factors like content quality and customer service. Therefore, Netflix should consider optimizing pricing strategies, sustaining a positive image amongst younger generations. And here we look at the references and also the appendix to the study. Thank you very much.